Okay. We're good? Okay. So, we're going to discuss the minhag of Kitniyos. So, the Kitniyos Mikra Din is mutter, but the minhag came to be Eiser. So, so the
there was an interesting in this week's Shavua. It brought up weekly
Farbrengen thing.
Yeah.
So you brought up the Shaila of kids.
No. So his maskana that he reaches there is that better to have soy than
that didn't exist. Yeah, so it didn't exist in times of the Hamaitzin. Das ist Messias.
Sorry, I didn't want to distract you.
So where does the makar of the minhag of the Isser of Kitniyos come from? So the Gemara. So really, there's already machlekes in the Gemara. What's the din with the rice? Can you use rice on one hand? Can you use rice for matzah? And also, could you, if it turns chametz, are you chayv taras? Because it's totally zebazeh. Only things which could become chametz you could use for matzah. So in Pesach on Daf Lamed Hey Amar Aleph, there's machlekes. The Mishnah says that only the 5 grains only the 5 grains can be used for matzah. And
because only those.
Because it turns into chametz. And the Gemara brings another opinion about Binyomin ben Nuri that he says no. He says also oiris and deichen you can also use for matzah, and you're also going to be, and you can also turn into chametz.
What exactly is deichen?
Deichen, I remember exactly what deichen is. Oiris is rice. I'm saying it's machlekes, but kashas is rice. And those deichen is it buckwheat? I don't remember.
Rabbi Google.
So as a machlekes over there. So the stam mission of there goes not like Avichem and Nuri. Not only that, in the first man makim Pesach that Kufyu Dalet on the base is a clear Gemara. The Gemara says lace the chash. No one's chayshish for there's no one who's chayshish Avichem and Nuri. So you think al chaladeis there's no issue with eating rice. So this in the first man makim the Gemara says. They said by the Seder they bring out the Shnei Tavshilin. So as machlekes, what are these 2 dishes that they bring out? So my Shnei Tavshilin. The Gemara says, Omar Rav Huna, Silka v'Aruza. They had Silka and Aruza, they had rice. So Omar Rav Ashi, Shema Mina, from this that they had Oiris, Shema Mina Rav Huna, Leis the Chayish Lahadar Avichem and Nuri. You see that no one is Chayish by Avichem and Nuri. What are Avichem and Nuri saying? The Tanya, you learn from the Raisa, Avichem and Nuri Oimer, Oiris min Daganhun. Oiris is a type of grain. The Chayav and Al Chimutzi Karis. And if it turns into chametz, you're chayv kares. But adam yitze boy yedei chivase bePesach. And you're yitze, and if you eat on Pesach, you're yitze matzah.
According to this, it's millet.
Millet. Okay.
Which is interesting because when I used to have a parrot, I used to millet.
Sounds like good idea. Yes, it's taka fine. Then it's okay. We say leisli chashla Avichem and Nuri. So the whole of this is no isser with the rice and any Kitniyos. So where did the minhag come to be isser? So he says it brings up Binyomin. He says people are neigel isser. He says he doesn't understand. There's no reason for it, and he thinks the minhag shtus. Number 2, the Beisis in Sim Tafnun Gimel. He says Gam Rabbeinu Yerucham Kosav. Those people don't eat rice and other types of cooked Kitniyos on Pesach. Minhag shtus. It's minhag shtus. The Gemara says klaris mutter. So unless you're some chumrah that they're doing there, they're doing it for some zehirus. But what is the chumrah? You're trying to chish Rabbi Yechim and Nuri. The Gemara says leis the chash. Trying to be machmir more than the Gemara. On the basis of ends off, the leis the chash advarim halalus, the losi Ashkenazim.
Those Ashkenazim.
I don't think it's so clear Pasha what the minhag of the Svardim is. Some Svardim, I think there's some Svardim do, some Svardim don't.
That's only probably because they were Makabel, some of the Chumras, but the Etzim in Makar, they have no tradition of Kitniyos. Mizalzel the whole thing.
The Ben Yerucham. First he's quoting the Ben Yerucham.
No, but that's Yosef, is it? Is that the last few
words? The last few words from the Beis Yosef. Leis the Chash. Yeah. So the Shai is talking, where did the minhag come from, and what's the reason for it? So the first makar we have is from the Hagoyis Rabbeinu Peretz, from one of the Valley Tastes. He wrote Hagoyis on the Smak, say from Mrs. Cotton. Over there he says, he's from the Rishonim, he says it's already a minhag that was started from generations before. It's a minhag going for a while. So what's the reason? He says the reason is because people might get mixed up. People think just like you could cook kitniyos with water and you have to be worried it's going to turn into chametz. So too, Amaratzin, they're also going to think that you could that also wheat and all the other grains.
Certain things we make the assumption that people are idiots, and certain things we say, oh no, you.
Yeah,
know?
It's a big question. Yeah. So number 3, number 3, like they Rabbeinu Peretz, he writes, he says, Kitniyos, he says, Rabbi Seinu noigim behem iser shlei loichlin Pesach klal. They won't eat it on Pesach. He says, even though there were people who were, he had to buy, there were a lot of Gedei Yisrael who were makel. He says, Mihu kasha davar ma'ila hatir davar sheneigim beha ilam iser mimei chachamim hakadmein. He says, it's very, even though people were makel, it's very...
Where's this coming from? Because the whole time he's saying,
right, that were the 3 dots. I wanted to
skip a good part.
What? He says he brings some chaverim, some friends of his. They were taking mekel. They would eat kitniyos. He would eat it, but he says miu kasha davar ma'ila hatir davar sheneigim beha'ilam isram yimei chachamim kadmin. It's very hard to be mekel something which already from earlier generations people were being
a critical part here to understand.
Had a hard time deciding what to put on the paper. We were tight on space. So you see already from the Smak brings down this minhag, and it was already going for a few generations before the Smak, from one of the Valley Tastes. So he says, so what's the reason? He says it can't be because you're Cheshish Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, because the Gemara says no one's Cheshish Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri that rice can become chametz. He says l'kach nire l'kaim haminhag. Now what's the reason for the nure? Lesser kol kitniyos with Pesach. Talk about Israel. Why? Not because it's going to become chametz. Kitosu leimakein. It's a mistake to say it becomes chametz. Elamitam gzeira. It's a gzeira that what? The kivan, the kitniyos, ma'isa kederahu. Since it's a ma'isa kedera, you cook it and you make some sort of dish out of it. Just the same way v'daga nami ma'isa kederahu k'daisa. And so too other grains, wheat and barley, also makes different types of cooked cereals out of it and porridge. So if it will be matir kitniyos, maybe they'll be matir other types of cereals, which are takeh chametz. Since both of them are these cooked dishes with grains and they look similar, so they might mix it up. It's also midid demidagin. Midid demidagin. The Gemara in Brachos says that it's types of that grains that they would grains which are in the kernels. They would take it together. They would break off the kernels and then they would like the whole process they do with wheat. They break off the kernels and then they separate it and then they pile it up. So all these things go through the same process as wheat as wheat and other grains. So it's another reason that it's similar. And only the third reason, the third way it's similar is because some people make flour out of it and they make bread. So people not b'nei Torah are going to come to mix it up.
According to this thing, then potato starch is also.
Some people talk on to the say saucer. Some people they tried. They were matzliach, but they tried. So that's the main reason why we're machmir for kitniyos. The Tur brings down another reason. The Tur, even though he doesn't hold of it, he says that because a lot of times the wheat and chametz gets mixed up together with the kitniyos. So you think you're only eating kitniyos, but the way it was processed, it was grown together. They cut it together, so it got mixed up a lot. The fourth Ma'amak in the Tur in Pesach Sim Tafan Gimel says, "V'yesh eisrin la'echel oiris chol mini kitniyos v'tafshel." Why to eat a cook l'fi shamini chitim mis'arvin bahen, since the wheat gets mixed into it. But he says v'chumra yasera hizu v'lein agukin. Says it's a chumra yasera v'lein agukin.
So the Torah and the Beis Yosef don't hold that there's a problem with it.
So it's interesting. The Torah is from the Ashkenazim.
Right.
But
in other words, is he mevatel just that nekuda, or is he mevatel the whole Indian of kitniyos?
He says v'lein agukin. And the
Leinago came because of what? Because
not leinago because of svadis.
where he was,
yeah.
where he was, where the Torah was, they weren't noyeg.
From Mercedes,
But Lepel will see later that Taka wasn't scandal, the Achimeish, the Ramah, and it wasn't scandal by the Ashkenazim. Like we'll see soon. There's what's a mucker for the Pri Chadash and the Chem and Meisha. They actually found there's based on a Gemara and according to Teis they say you have a shtickle mucker for the minhag of not eating Kitniyos. You have a shtickle mucker for it. What's the mucker? So it's a Gemara in Pesach in the fifth Maramakim. The Gemara says that Papi Shari lay the Burdiki. The Beireish Gulusa, the Mincha Kedera Bechasisi. So the Papi was matir for the servants by the Reish Gulusa's house to be mamcha to thicken the dish that they were eating with chasisi. He let them put chasisi into it. The question is, what is chasisi? We're going to see soon. Omar Rava, Ika de Shariki Hai Milsa Beduchta de Shchichi Avdi. Would anyone be matir to put chasisi into water in a place where there are avadim around? So the avodim they're very callous. If you matter this, so they're going to be matter other things. So that's one nusach. Then ikad amri Rava gufei machi like kider bechasisi. The Rava himself would put it in. So fine, it's a different gersais.
It's two gersais hafchin. One
says hafchin,
and the other one says
he actually did it. So the Tana said they want to say passion. You say it's not a stira. One is talking a place where there are avodim, and if one is talking about a place where there are no avodim.
Himself.
Yeah.
Himself is another thing because he's dark.
So the shayla is what is chasisi? So it's machlekes rishonim in number 6. So one of the pirushim, the second pirush Taisus brings down, is that it's kemach from adashim. It's kemach of Kitniyos. If you're matter for the avodim to use kemach of Kitniyos, are going to be matter to also use regular flour. See, so the Pri Chodesh says you can't have a makar in Taisus. According to this pshat in the Gemara, you can't have a makar for the chumrah of Kitniyos. Number 6, Taisus says. Rava machulei kider bechasisi. So what is chasisi? So pirsha kuntris kimcha da avishuna. It's flour which you baked in an oven, and flour which was baked in an oven won't turn into chametz, even if you mix it in with water. And he says that's also because in front of avodim. So Taisa doesn't like this pshat because the hala elasrinan. Earlier, the Gemara says you shouldn't use kimcha davishuna, which is whatever. This is the makar also for the min of not doing gebrachs. That even though it's baked, you shouldn't use it again. So he says that's not pshat. Leitsman de pali. So what is pshat? He says v'nira liri ki de pirsh ba'aruch bechasisi. That is, he says it's kemach shel adoshim, kemach of different types of kitniyos, of adoshim, beans, barley. The ein dark and lovely they chinutz kolkach. It's not the derech of these things to turn into chametz. So meikar adin it's mutter.
Kolkach, it like throws the whole.
So the shayla is what's kolkach. We'll get to that in a minute. So Taisus says it doesn't turn into chametz, and that's why meikar adin it's mutter. But Rava said, how could he be makel in such a place where there's avodim, where people where there are kaliyadas? You're matter this, are going to be matter also other things. So if you touch like this, you have a makar for such a thing. Nowadays, there's a lot of people are not b'nitayda. So maybe you have to be chayshish for it. If you're matter this, maybe people will be matter other things. So you have a shtickle. So you have a shtickle makar in the Gemara and the Taisus. And also shayla is what's called kach. Till now, we only gave 2 reasons. We had 2 reasons. What's the chumrah for not eating kitniyos? One is because. Amaras might mix it up with flour, just like you could do this. You can be matter also wheat. And another reason the Torah wrote down is that because the actual wheat kernels gets mixed into the kitniyos.
And then we had the Binyomin and Nuri who felt it was even a mindag.
Yeah, he said it's mamish chametz, but we said lace the chash. He said no one holds like that.
He's dismissed already. So be chayshish for that.
Yeah.
Right? Once it's knocked up in the Gemara,
So what?
We're starting to go back.
So that's the Ched Meisha Yitak wants to say that. He says he's not so impressed with these other viyurim that is maybe you're gonna mix, maybe you're gonna get mixed up, maybe different things might happen. He says pshat is based on this thesis. He wants to say inability they chimetz kol kach. But derech doesn't really come into chametz. Isi Ben-Nuri says it's mamish just like weed. You put in water, it's the same thing. It'll turn into chametz. Chamar argued derech doesn't turn into chametz. You can make ma. You can do whatever you want with it. Doesn't turn into chametz. If you leave it for a long time, if it's very
why
hot,
shouldn't we
if
worry
it's
about the kol
certain cases, it could turn into chametz. In
So
very
why shouldn't we
extreme
worry about
cases,
that Pesach?
but there it doesn't.
It's not really chametz. It's ipush. It's
So the Pashas, that's what the Gemara says. He wants to say no. He wants to say according to Taisis. Taisis is ain't bali lechumes kol kach. That call is only ipush. It's just rotting. He says, but it's possible in certain ways that it could become chametz. Mikra didn't have to be chayshish for it, but in a makom where there's avodim, people don't know to be careful. Yeah, you should be machmir. So this is a chiddush of the Chemed Moshe. He wants to give a third reason that is taka. In certain ways, it is shaykh to turn to chametz. So the Tzemach Tzedek, there's a tshuva on Erechayin Simin Nun Vav. He brings on this Chemed Moshe and he argues with it. He doesn't like it. He brings on different rights from the Gemara Smash Pashas and from other Teisisim. The Teisis is called that's Ein Bali Dechimitz Klal. It doesn't come to chametz. It doesn't turn into chametz at all. So I said like Shelo this be here. He says rather Pshat is like the Smack said that people might mix it up. They'll think just like he used that, you can use this. That's fine. So Sachachal we have three biurim. What's the reason for the chumrah of Kitniyos? And and there's a shtickle makar in the Gemara, according to Taisis, that Rava said you shouldn't put this kemach, you shouldn't put this flour of hadashim of Kitniyos into the kededa in a place where there are avodim around. And so that's the first shlav. So the second shlav we have to discuss is the people who try to be mevatel the minhag. So a lot of people try to be mevatel the minhag to be mekel. And one of the greatest ones is the Marek Sia, Yaakov Endin. He says Rashina's father, the Chacham Tzvi, he says he would be furious every year about the people being machmir about Kitniyos. He says making tzaras for the Yidden. People they can't afford it. They have to buy so much matzah. If you let them buy Kitniyos, things will be so much cheaper. Not only that, they even come up to do Yisurim. Since they have to make so much matzah, they're not so careful with all the chumras of making matzah, and people might come to do Yisurim mamish. So this is in number 7, the Yaakov Emden. He said in number 7 he writes, Marek Sia, Sim Tochman Gimel. He says, Dani al Avi Moiri Hagoin Zatzal. He says, I made on my father, the Chacham Tzvi. Kama made star Oisei Tzadik al how much he was pained by this issur of eating Kitniyos. Kol Chag HaMatzos Hayom Yisram. The whole Pesach he was furious. If I had the koyach, ivatlini lemina gerua lazum. If I had the koyach, I would be mevatel this minhag.
Of what?
Of Kitniyos. Of not eating Kitniyos.
Of not
eating Kitniyos. The chumrah of Kitniyos. He would be mevatel the whole chumrah.
He'd be mevatel it. He was Ashkenazi, but he moved to Sfard. That's why he got the title Chacham. Shemitech wise, what was he so upset about? Shemitech kach nuchrachim le'eflis matzis harbe. They have to make so many matzis to last the whole Pesach. Ve'einanim zharim basiyosam, and they're not careful. So he goes on weiter, and he brings on other timing. He says over there. He says also because mitzad the aniyim, the people they can barely afford chametz all year round, and now they have to buy matzahs. He said if you be matzah for them to eat Kitniyos, it's so much cheaper. You mamish save them.
They would just buy yidei chayva, and then the rest they would eat Kitniyos.
Yeah, everything. Right. But now they have to spend so much money on it. Okay. So he ends off an alkin ani eimer hamavatel minhag zeh shel menias achilas Kitniyos yihi chelki imay. My chelik should be with him. The person who was zeichet to this. Halavai askimu imadi gedeli hader the machuz alazu. Halavai everyone be asking to me with this, and hinini liyes nitzvul advar mitzvah zu. He wants to be a part of this Zvar Mitzvah being Vatal the Minhag of Kitniyos. And so this is Yaakov Emden. So he writes very sharp. And there's another sharp tshuva called so this is a controversial tshuva, controversial sefer is called Psamim Rosh. So Psamim Rosh, the person who printed it, his name was Scholl from Berlin. So officially, when he printed it, he claimed that he found the Ksav Yads he found the sefer of Tshuvas from the Rosh, Rabbeinu Asher, from the Rabbeinu the Rosh, the Rishon. So he says he found the sefer of Tshuvas from him, and he printed it. One of the Tshuvas he printed over there is the Rosh writing very sharply about the minhag of Kitniyos. He says no makar for it. He thinks it came from the Karoim. The Karoim, they weren't mechalik between. They didn't know the difference between dagon, between wheat, things that come into chimutz and not. He says that's where it came from. But later on, people came out that they kind of that really the whole thing was a ziyuf. This whole sefer he wrote it b'shem the Rosh. Really, it was his own tshuvas, his own things he wrote, and he just wrote it b'shem the Rosh. So it's so just it's yeah. So even though they also writes very sharply, but Lepel and Maskana doesn't carry any weight. It could be Lepel the Rosh also didn't hold of the minhag, right? You saw the Torah didn't hold of the minhag. The Torah is the son of the Rosh. The Torah said that in his place they were annoying like that. So Ken Zayin the Rosh didn't hold of it, but Lepel. The tshuva, he says it's not so easy gehalten. We'll read through it anyways. So number 8, he says, Kitniyos, you asked about eating Kitniyos with Pesach. Mixas rabani Ashkenaz Eisin v'chein haminhag b'mixas. Wait, this is a typo. Maybe Makaimis. People say they never remember a time when they eat Kitniyos. He says tshuva. Answer: Zoroshu. It's a modern azach. The Gemara says clear that is mutter. Says you never heard of any place where they made a takana. So you don't have to try to find reasons to why they decide to be machir.
I don't think it's healthy for me to learn this.
Don't worry, we brought some
before
other.
we learned this. Kidney is
It was Makobo, but that's it.
Lixus McCamus.
Well, that's what he's saying.
So Lepel.
Sugar was Missouri.
Yeah, we think these are Missouri.
This guy, you can't tell.
So Lepel, he wants to say if he can, the minute case. Kind of, yeah.
It's not food.
Cannabis, the.
What?
Cannabis, what it's.
Cannabis? No.
I think college.
The Acer. It's an Acer.
No, Canada they do, yeah. Truma Sadeshan says that oil they make from cannabis. That's hemp, no? Cannabis is hemp.
It is.
So he says it's the oil from it. He says it's Kitniyos.
It's Kitniyos.
So the Truma Sadeshan says.
The what?
And I just saw, where did I see that the cotton seed is not royal achila, so therefore, even though it's seed, since it's not royal achila, so there's no charge of anything, and you're
So
allowed to use cotton
there's a
seed oil?
tshuva to the Marsham. Someone's writing to the Marsham. They wanted to say maybe a certain seed. I think maybe it was cotton seed. It could be that's what they want to say. It should be mutter because it's not edible.
Not edible.
So one of the tiniest I write over there, he says you see from Truma Sadeshan, even something which is not edible is still
So
Kitniyos.
he brings it to the cannabis.
It brings from the cannabis.
People eat that.
What? They extract the oil and mix it into food, but it's not an edible thing of itself.
Depends on how much of it.
So there's so weiter. So these are people who are ma'arev. But the fail they write all the placing write very sharp about people who try to be matal the minhag. And number 9, the Eli Rabba brings down from the Ma'aril. He's before the Termas Adeshan. He writes very sharp. He says in number 9, he says, "Val yemar adam kivan she'eni suri midiraisa in lachash." You don't have to be worried about it. To call the gazer abanon ha'ivra olav chayv misa. You're chayv misa if you're even on issa the rabbanon. Va'ivra alei sasur. You're on issa the raisa alei sasur. You have to listen to the chachamim. That's from the Maril and Hilchos Machlois Hasuris. And Aruch HaShulchan also writes sharply in number 10. Says v'isr zeh kivan shekiblu aviseinu mishum geder midin Torah. Since it's a gather to protect it from Ivan Isra Vidin Torah, Asher Lon Levatel. It's also Levatel. V'hamafak bekim v'makilim bezeh mi'idin al atzman she'in behem yiras shemayim. They're made on the source that they have no yiras shemayim v'yiras chet. Ve'ein bekim bedarchei Torah. They're not bucking in darchei Torah. He says v'apedus gather yishchenu nachash. So, Feiris Geder Yishchenu Nachash. That's the Lashon says people who are making on Yisuri the Rabbanon, Feiris Geder
It's
Yishchenu.
possible to be a Sfardi at Pesach and Ashkenazi the ganze year. It's a way to do it.
You show me
To be a Sfardi lady.
the tshuva, you know?
No.
Ashkenazi becomes
go
an
to
Eved
one-
of a Sfardi.
He goes to one father-in-law and
No, I have with
Person.
my son-in-law the deal. You either have to say what's it called, slichus the whole month of Elul,
Right.
or you have to Nizer and Kitniyos. You can't have both.
right.
You show me someone wrote a Shaila. Last year, you showed me someone wrote if Ashkenazi becomes the Eved of a Sfardi, could he eat Kitniyos? Yeah, whatever. So, and I a silly Shaila, but whatever, it's cute.
Marry a rich
So there were people who tried to be mefaktek on the minhag, but Lepel they weren't matzliach. So everyone is very sharp that this is minhag makubal, and you can't be makel. So the next thing that comes up is what about for a chil or shnas potatoes if there's a famine, if it's you can't, there's not much food around, there isn't much wheat, could you be makel? There aren't potatoes, could you be makel to eat kitniyos? So a lot of the poskim, the Chai Yodam, Mishnah Berurah brings it down that if there isn't much food available, you could be makel. First, the Chai Yodam, he explains what's the reason for the minhag, and then afterwards he talks about Vitzitas. Number 11, the Chai Yodam says, "Kivan shaviseinu nagu kach, asur lanu lashanis." He can't change the minhag. Mishum altitesh terasi mechol. You can't change. V'chein b'chol minhagi Yisrael shenagu be'isei davar. Even there wasn't a takana of Chazal, they only did it on themselves. So he can't be makel. Something which is a takana Chazal, that's a lot more chomer. Even on Isser on Ishlav of Leisasser. This is it wasn't a takana Chazal, so it's only al titesh. It's not Leisasser.
What's not
Kitniyos. So it's not a takana of the Chazal. So it's a minhag. So it's in the Isser of al titesh teres imecham, but it's not Isser of Leisasser. He says, therefore, since only al titesh lachim b'shas hadchak she'ein l'adam ala echel ela b'deicha gadol mutu levashel kitniyos v'shar dvarim. So if the shas hadchak there isn't much available to eat, you could be makel to have kitniyos. And
I don't decide the lotion is the Wasser.
das is so that's noch a shayla. Yeah, that's another big maflekas. We didn't have enough time this week. I thought maybe we'll do a hemshech next week to get more into it. The whole chashash of chimus is only if it comes in touch with water. What if you just want to eat kitniyos plain? Let's say popcorn. Let's say you got kernels which you knew for sure from shas ksira that it didn't get wet, nothing happened to it. It didn't get in touch with water, and you put it in a pot and you make popcorn. Are you allowed to eat that? So from the Chai Yodam and a lot of places in Smashma that it's okay, but Lapel, whatever, a lot of people are machmir, and I think that's the minhag that were machmir.
ולכולי עלמא, אז נייסטס אום וסר, זה פחות בעיה, less problem.
Yeah.
זה לכולי עלמא.
Yeah, but later the Samach said that he says he's very machmir, even Mishnas Besidus, he says he shouldn't be makel. He says the only way you can be makel, even when there's a famine, is only if you make it in a way that it didn't come in touch with any water. And even if you did have to cook it, it should be boiling hot water, so hot that it's impossible for it to turn into chametz. You see, the Samach said it's only make when it was a shnas v'tzeidas, when it was a famine. And so whatever, the next shiklach we'll do outside, we'll do inside. The Samach said is very machmir when it comes to this Indian. A lot of the places they say if it's a famine, there's not a lot of food available. You could be makel. You could have kitniyos. So Masedek says first of all you can't be makel without hataras and zarin. Other places they're makel stamas. They first you have to do hataras and zarin. Not only that, you want to say hataras and zarin doesn't work. So the whole shak of how could you be mater neder? First of all, it's machlekes if something which is a neder, a minhag, which has the din of a neder, which was a siyag in order to prevent you from being over on isser. There's hataras and zarin. Could you do hataras and zarin for that? So that he brings machlekes.
Only on a definite you could do hataras and zarin?
Only on nether, which is something which is coming to protect the Torah, to stop people from being over on Isser, and has a certain chizuk, has a certain kayach that he can't be mater nether.
It has more kayach than halacha. Oh, than
not more than halacha, than stam nether. You made a nether, you're going to do something.
Okay.
So that's one machlek is pretty chadash in Mari Levi. Another machlek is even you want to say that it could be mater nether. There's a Chuvah Hashdam. He says that you can only be mater neder if it was your minhag, if you started doing it. But what if it's the kids? The parents started doing something and their kids kept doing it, and the kids want to be mater neder. It doesn't help. So Hashdam says only helps for the parents. So, only parents could be mater neder, because they fully know what the reason is, and also once it was in Skyim and no one was mefak, it has a certain kiyum. Oh, so that's such a certain chuvas they want to say who the Malamin Lahayil was the, and I forget it was a different chuvah. They want to say that you want to say pshat that they, well in Mozayin you have to say that they were mekabel such a minhag, such a neder, even in such a Shulchan also wants to say it like that. but the Lepel, the Tzemach Tzedek doesn't take such a mahalach. He says even Shas Chak, it's going to be also. He says he brings other yisurim. The only way he's making on the end, if you make the Kitniyos in a way that it's impossible for it to come to chimutz, even if it was
Boil it.
yeah, even if it was one of the chamisha minim, only then he will be making. So that's half of the discussion of Kitniyos. People do. The other part of the discussion is what's like we brought it before. What if you eat it in a way that can't turn into chametz? If you eat it dry, what if? And also all these new things that we come in with that are came out nowadays, peanuts and quinoa and all these things, are those considered Kitniyos? So maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll do a hemshech next week. We'll see.
For years, the Kaladas Yishurim and the Ekid would use peanut